Let me tell you something nobody said to you when you started. Not your parents, not your closest friends, not the mentor you looked up to, or the person whose path you were trying to follow. Nobody sat you down and told you the one rule that changes everything about how you show up, how you survive, and how you keep moving in the years before anyone even notices you exist. Here it is. Nobody cares until you win. That's not cynicism. That's not someone who gave up trying to sound deep. That's the most honest thing anyone can hand you about the road you're on right now. And once you actually understand it, not just hear it, but feel it somewhere real and build your entire approach around it, something shifts. You stop being angry at the people who aren't showing up for you. You stop waiting for permission or validation or a sign that what you're doing matters, and you start working. There are 5 reasons why this happens. 5 reasons why the people around you, even the ones who genuinely love you, cannot show up for a version of you that doesn't exist yet. And when you understand each one clearly, not as excuses, but as facts about how people actually work, you stop taking it personally. You stop bleeding energy into resentment, and you put that energy exactly where it belongs. 1. People can't support what they can't see. When you're in the middle of building something, whether it's a business, a body, a skill, a mindset, or a completely different version of yourself, it is invisible to everyone but you. You feel the early mornings. You feel the slow shift in your decisions. The things you're saying no to now that you used to say yes to without thinking. The discomfort you're choosing to sit in instead of running from. The compounding of small daily choices that haven't shown up on the outside yet. That growth is real, every bit of it, but it doesn't show yet. And people can only respond to what's actually in front of them. Your friend sees you turning down plans and assumes you've become antisocial. Your family sees you grinding late into the night and thinks you're going through something. Your coworkers see you changing and feel a low discomfort they can't quite name, because change in someone else quietly reminds them of what they're not doing. They're not cruel. They're not against you. They just can't see what you see. You're operating on a vision of your future self. Everyone around you is reacting to your current self. And until those 2 things close the gap, which only happens when results start appearing, you're going to feel unseen. That feeling is not a signal to slow down. It's a signal that you're in the right part of the process. Keep building the thing only you can see right now. 2. People protect their own sense of what's possible. This one is uncomfortable, but it matters more than almost anything else on this list. When you start genuinely improving yourself, you become a mirror. And not everyone is ready to look in one. When you start waking up earlier, your friends who haven't made that choice feel a quiet challenge to the story they tell themselves about why they can't do what they say they want to do. When you start losing weight, building a skill, earning differently, reading more, showing up with more intention, the people around you feel a friction they can't always articulate. It doesn't always look like jealousy. Jealousy is obvious. This is subtler. It comes out as jokes. You're so serious now. You think you're better than everyone? You've changed. Said, like that last one, is an accusation. Nobody announces that your growth is threatening their comfort. Instead, they frame your growth as the problem. Like the issue is you becoming more, not them feeling less. Here's what's actually happening underneath all of it. Their sense of what's possible is built around the ceiling they've quietly accepted for themselves. When you start breaking through yours, it destabilizes theirs. And the fastest way to protect that ceiling is to get you back below it. This is why people who love you can work against your growth without ever meaning to. It's not malice, it's self-preservation. Understand it for what it is, and stop expecting the people who haven't chosen growth to be the ones who celebrate yours. When results arrive, that friction mostly disappears. Outcomes do what words never could. 3. Effort without results is invisible currency, and nobody pays with invisible currency. You know exactly how hard you're working. You know the real cost, the sleep traded, the money reinvested instead of spent, the social events skipped, the version of yourself 6 months ago compared to right now. But here is the brutal, non-negotiable reality: effort that hasn't produced visible results yet does not register to the outside world. Not because people are cold, because they have no reference point for it. You can tell someone you've been working on yourself every single day for a year straight. They will nod. They will say, "That's great." And 30 seconds later, they'll be talking about something else. Because a year of effort with no visible output is something they can't hold, can't point to, can't rally around. Results are the only language that everyone speaks fluently. A year of effort that produces something concrete, a transformation, a number, a skill that wasn't there before, a life that looks measurably different, that they can engage with, that they can ask questions about. That gives them something to attach to. This is why you cannot afford to need external validation while you're still in the building phase. It will not come, not because you don't deserve it, because you haven't yet given people something they can see and hold and respond to. Stop looking for applause at halftime. The crowd fills the stands for the final score. 4. Most people are too deep in their own survival to notice yours. This one asks something different from you. It asks for compassion. And here's why that matters. When someone doesn't show up for your growth, your first instinct is to read it as indifference. But indifference and overwhelm look identical from the outside. That distinction is the whole thing. The people around you are carrying their own weight right now, their own fears, their own debt, their own relationships that are harder than they look from the outside, their own quiet dreams they haven't started yet, and the guilt that comes with that. They are, most of the time, almost entirely consumed by their own internal world. So when you share your vision, your progress, your goals, you're asking someone to step completely out of their world and into yours. That's a real ask. And most people genuinely don't have the bandwidth, not because you don't matter to them, but because the human capacity for sustained attention on someone else's journey is limited, especially when their own journey is demanding everything they have. This is not the same as not caring about you as a person. It's simply having nothing left to give beyond themselves right now. So no, they're not quietly rooting against you. They're quietly just trying to survive their own story. Understand that, and the silence stops feeling like rejection. It becomes context, and context changes everything about how you carry the weight of building alone. Build anyway. The people who were meant to be part of your story will find you on the other side. 5. Winning rewrites the story people tell about you, and this is the one that pulls everything together. Right now, before the results, there is a story people tell about you. You may not have heard it out loud, but it exists. Maybe it's the one where you're always starting things and never quite finishing. Maybe it's the one where you're talented but scattered. Maybe it's just the simple one where you're regular, familiar, someone they've known for years and already filed away in a category. That story is not permanent, but here is what most people get wrong about how to change it. You cannot argue your way out of it. You cannot explain your way out of it. You cannot have enough conversations or post enough content or tell enough people about your goals and what you're becoming to rewrite the story they hold about you. You can only win your way out of it. When real results appear, undeniable ones, the story changes. Not because people suddenly become more perceptive or more generous, but because results hand them a new story to tell, and they will tell it. The same people who never once asked about your process will be telling others about your success, like they watched every step of it, like they knew all along. That's not hypocrisy, that's just how people work. They attach to outcomes, not processes. They narrate results, not effort. So stop trying to rewrite the narrative through words. The only edit that counts is a result they cannot look away from. Here's what all 5 of these come back to. The years before the win are the years that actually define you, not in the way that feels good in the moment, in the way that genuinely matters when you look back later. The discipline you build when nobody's watching, the identity you're quietly forming in the silence, the decisions you make when there is no applause, no audience, no external reason in the world to keep going except the one you carry inside yourself. That version of you, the one no one sees yet, is the most important version you will ever build, because the person who eventually wins is not someone randomly selected by luck or timing or the right circumstances. It's the person who kept going in the exact season where most people quit, the season where nobody calls to check in, where no one asks how it's going, where you are completely, genuinely, just you and the work and the distance between where you are and where you decided you were heading. The silence wasn't punishment, it was protection. It kept out everyone who wasn't built for the building phase. It filtered everything down to exactly what the process actually required. You, your vision, and enough hunger to outlast every moment of doubt along the way. Win first, let them care after.